Hello, everyone, especially my 60 subscribers. Today we are doing something new, something I've never done before. As some of you may know, I am a producer for Audible, meaning this beautiful voice is the sound that you hear when you purchase a few select books from their catalog. And so I've decided I wanted to bring that talent here on YouTube. So today, I'm reading you two scary home invasion stories. Enjoy! This story is inspired by Megamind1410 from Ask Reddit. I was sitting in my room at 11:30 p.m. My mother and I lived together, and she had been working late that night. I had heard the door open and a lot of commotion downstairs. Typically, when she comes home, it's keys in the bowl, jacket in the closet, up the stairs, "Good night, honey," and to bed. But I figured maybe she had a bad night, maybe she was frazzled, maybe she wanted something to eat. I was getting a little hungry myself. Eventually, I did hear her coming up the stairs, and right outside my room, I heard her stop. I waited and waited. "Okay, come on, Mom, tell me goodnight, that way I can tell you goodnight, that way we can just get the night over with." I called out to her. "Mom, is that you? Are you okay?" She didn't respond. "Okay, Mom, it's been a horror movie kind of night and I've already been a little freaked out." Still no response. I heard the creak from the steps again, and it sounded like they were going down this time. "Mom?" Still no answer. I figured I'd just leave her alone. She must be having some kind of night, and we could talk about it later. After about half an hour, I realized I was feeling kind of hungry, and I hadn't heard my mom come back up, so I could probably go down and have a very late dinner with her. I opened my door, and it looked like the kitchen light was on, so I went downstairs, and no Mom. Instead, what I saw on my table was a piece of paper. "You're lucky. I'm scared too," was written on it. A ton of our stuff was missing. I instantly called my mom, and she told me that she was still at work. She was going to be there for at least another hour, and she hadn't been home all day. I ran to my bathroom, locked myself in, and called the cops. I'm pretty sure the intruder had left when he realized that I was still there. When the cops arrived, they didn't find anything. We just had to make a report of all the things that had gone missing, but I hadn't seen anybody. They didn't give me a voice. I can't honestly even discern if it was a male or a female. I mean, I did think it was my mom at one point. The thing that still gets me, the officers said it didn't look like there was any forced entry. I was sure that I locked the door when I got home. My mom's the one that ingrained it in me to never leave the door unlocked, so I know that she wouldn't forget. I guess you just always need to check twice. This story is inspired by Josh Second from Ask Reddit. This happened to my sister. Her husband and her had just had their first child a few months prior. My brother-in-law was working the graveyard shift at his job, and my sister was a stay-at-home mom taking care of my nephew. Around 2 a.m., she heard loud knocking on her back door. She went to go investigate and saw a lady banging on her door, asking for my sister to let her in. The lady said that her husband had just beat her, and he was down the street and he was coming for her. My sister was hesitant to let her inside, especially since she had a newborn in the house. All things considered, she didn't want to put herself in harm's way, either from having a random stranger come inside her home, or from having this lunatic man running down the street breaking into her house. She told the lady that the best she could do was call the police for her. According to her, the lady's demeanor suddenly changed. She told my sister to not call the cops and to let her in. This is where my sister got suspicious. She went to her phone and called 911. When she went back to the door, the lady was gone. The police arrived a few minutes later, and they told my sister that the same situation happened a few streets down. Apparently, a couple was doing this act in order to gain entry into people's houses. They would break in, subdue whoever was trying to help them, then steal everything. Remember, trust your gut and be very careful who you let in.